Hey trader, this is Wieland. Thanks for listening to my podcast. Are you really interested to learn more about trading? If so, check out my day in swing trading masterclass just following the link in the show notes. And if you like what you see, use the discount code INSIDES10 for a 10% discount off the day in swing trading masterclass. See you there. Hello and welcome to the How to Trade Like a Pro podcast. I'm Wieland Arlt, and in this episode I'm talking with Snezhana Popkova about how to become a technical analyst, why an education is so important, and how the trading scene in the Balkan region really is. Before we start, please take a closer look at the risk disclaimer in the show notes. And now enjoy this episode. I'm here together with Snezhana Popkova, and Snezhana is part of the IFTA worldwide network, and you're from the Balkan area, and you are leading the member society SEMT, or SEEMT. So Snezhana, first of all, welcome, and I'm really happy to speak today with you and hear a little bit about your career and how you approached financial markets, trading, and how life is going on in the Balkan area. So welcome.
Well, thank you. And thank you for the invitation. So yeah, I'm honored to be your guest in your podcast. Yeah.
Perfect. So let's start right away. And I'm very curious always when I talk with my guests about, how they started their career, because usually people don't feel like, oh, let's be a trader or let's go into finances or, into fund management, portfolio management, something like this. How did it start with you?
Well, I am working in a bank, in a very small local bank in Macedonia, and I work in the FX department. So when I started working there, we were receiving everyday reports from big banks like Commerzbank, Raiffeisen Bank, of daily reports for the FX market using technical analysts in those reports. And I decided, why should I be so dependent on those reports when my clients call and ask me, hey, where will the euro dollar go today? What do you think? And I decided, okay, why I don't do something so I can be able to do my own analysis on the FX market. So I was like searching on internet, seeing what are the possibilities back then for me to extend my knowledge. So before I take the CMT designation, my first course was in Bulgaria. I found a teacher that introduced me the introduction into technical analysis. My first contact with technical analysis was when I went to this school in Sofia, and from there started everything. Yeah. I finished. I stayed there for 1 week. I learned the basics, but I wanted to do more. And then I went on the internet to see what are the other possibilities, what are the designations, and this is how I entered into the world of technical analysis.
Oh, yes. It sounds, this sounds already like a professional approach, already working in a bank and just using it for professional purposes. So this means just, being, going better with your clients, having better insights in the markets.
To be honest, it was for my own personal knowledge. It's not that it was required from my bank side, or that there is still in the Balkan region, technical analyst is not very recognizable profession. There is no job description as technical analyst in this region. But I do it for myself, for my personal growth, because I wanted to, learn more and to be more independent in my daily job. Although we are not allowed to advise clients about the prices, but still it can add value in your daily job for sure. And then and you start from the FX market, and then you start watching other charts for other asset classes, and this is how the story begins. And then it is still, like growing, and many other opportunities came up in between. So this is it. Yeah.
All right. So how did it develop then? You said other opportunities came up, and you also have just helping clients. but you also have some, some track record in managing portfolios and analyzing market trends. So how did this
Well,
develop?
yeah. Well, we are very unmature markets. I will speak about Macedonia, but I can say it in the Balkan region in general that our
Mhm.
markets are not mature and are less sophisticated. But like we were allowed to start investing abroad a few years ago.
Yeah.
Until then, we weren't allowed to invest anything abroad. So by changing the regulation and giving us an opportunity as a citizens to start investing abroad, I start to implement my knowledge and to start making analysis and giving ideas to people and to share my thoughts about how they can invest abroad, what are the opportunities out there, how they can create their own portfolio and things like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it was very beneficial for me because I mean, we are still learning. The education is very low. I mean, but people are slowly starting to recognize and to be more aware about the importance of investing. And yeah, and this is growing from day to day.
Yeah.
And asking for advices, how should they, how should they invest? Where should they invest their money? In which market, which asset classes, and so on.
Mhm. Is there something like a retail trader market in let's say in the Balkan area?
Well, yeah, I must say that most of the people are retail traders who would like, if you're speaking about technical analysis,
Mhm.
then I would say that like 90% of the people which are retail traders are using technical analysis. The financial institutions are still reluctant to, and they're not, they're like I would say not like I would say even 100% fundamental analysts, even though they watch the charts or they watch some reports on Bloomberg or Refinitiv, but still, even though they don't admit, but they still are looking charts which are technically based, about, I don't know, some kind of relative strength between two markets or about between, some stocks or maybe some um, intermarket analysis or something like that, which is part of our technical analysis. But even though they watch the charts, they still stick to their fundamental analysis approach. And most of the people
Mhm.
who use technical analysis are retail traders who basically want to learn technical analysis so they can start trading and making money.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
I
the
mean, fundamental analysis is not that bad if you're like to invest long term. I mean, of course, you need to know where you're going to, but if you really want to trade, like, more short term, you're not going that far with fundamental analysis. I'm always very surprised that people think like, yeah, this is the way to go. Just, look at the numbers and just enter the market without looking at any part of the timing or looking at the price movement, something like this. They just see a news and jump in. I mean, this cannot work. What is your experience?
Well, yeah, I believe that everything is already in the price. As a technician, we believe that already everything is calculated in the price. But I would also argue that even though if you're not a short-term trader, that you can use technical analysis even for long-term or for a long time for
Mhm.
long-term horizons or even for a conservative approach of investing.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
that it works only on short time frames. I would even say that say that if you look long time frame charts, that can even have more added value technical analysis because you have more data that is gathered on the chart, and when there is a break or some signal that the new trend is forming, then you can have more added value and you can be successful and have profitable and long-term investment horizon on your decision
Mm, yeah,
whether to buy or sell. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and you better learn. I mean, that's we both are very keen on educating people in technical analysis and trading and really giving them everything into hand to do this on their own, without any analysis from outside, without any data from outside, just using the price which is very important, and also about the techniques and strategies to trade with. But I really wonder how the scene is. I know in Romania there's some kind of retail scene, because I have a friend. He asked me to translate my book into Romanian language. I said, okay, let's do this. But there were not really many copies sold, so I really wonder what is going on in that region.
Well, when I speak with my friends and my colleagues, they always first they will tell me, nah, technical analysis doesn't work. And I said, of course it doesn't work, because you have read something on the internet or finish
Yeah.
some course and you will start trading and you will lose money. And of course you will say it doesn't work, because I think that being a technical analyst is a profession.
Hmm.
And it takes a lot of year of education and work, and you should understand the market. You
Yeah.
cannot just open a position because you will see some price, some pattern on the chart, or maybe see that two moving averages are crossing, and to open a position just because you see some kind of signal on the chart. I think that you should understand the whole market and the reasons behind that formation or anything that you see on the chart before taking any decision about opening any position. Um, this is the first reason why I think that they are so, not into technical analysis, because they think that technical analysis doesn't work, because they don't spend enough time for education and for learning. And on the other side, there is a lot of free information on internet, but the question is, the quality over quantity. What kind of
Hmm.
information, what kind of courses, what kind of books you're gonna choose to learn from, or from which people that you might follow on Instagram, or YouTubers you will follow. And I think that if we combine those two factors, for me, these are the most biggest factors and reasons why people are not so interested in technical analysis. From one side, because there's so much information and they should choose the right information. And
Hmm.
from the other side, they don't spend enough time for education and practice so they can be successful.
Yeah. I totally agree, because that's exactly it. The internet is full of information, and of course it's full of the wrong one, because even people who give the information don't understand it the right way. This is where everything starts, and then they pass it on the wrong way as well. And it goes on and on and on like this. And of course, people fail using it because they miss a lot of information. So I totally understand this. And so the question is, how to change it. I mean, you are with the seamed organization, and so, or association. So what is this about? This is not just for Macedonia, North Macedonia. It's not just for one country. It's for the whole Balkan area, right?
Yes, we're representing the whole Balkan region. So,
Mhm.
well, this is why this is why I established the association. It was like challenge from one friend of mine, and we were talking about something, and he said, why don't you establish an association? I said, you know what, I will do it. And I think
Yeah.
the timing is right, and even though that there's no so much interest in technical analysis, I think that eventually this will be changed, because we have now machine learning, AI, quantitative finance, and everything. So whether we like it or not, most of the things they implement in those strategies are with technical analysts. So I think that even that people should have at least basic understanding about technical analysis, so they can read the charts and analyze the reports that they receive every day. They don't have to be professional technicians, but I think that each of us should have some basic understanding of technical analysis.
Mhm.
But the main goal of the association is certification. So we want to offer education, and to offer certifications so people can have the quality education. And also, when I discussed with some of my colleagues, which are technicians, I said, okay, if you're a technician, why don't you get certified? At least you can be recognized. And you will
Yeah.
say, yeah, like if you tell that you know technical analysis and that you are good, then why don't you take the certificate? So at least you will say, okay, I passed the exam, so I can prove that I have the knowledge, and I
Mhm.
can be recognizable in this industry as a certified market technician.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, certification, you got the CFTE, I have this, a lot of our colleagues have the CFTE, and it helps for a better understanding and the deeper understanding of, technical analysis of how markets work. And also, yes, it gives you some qualification. And also, it distinguishes you from everybody else not having it because why don't they have it? I mean, people don't
Exactly.
ask this.
Yeah,
Why don't you have a certification? Where did you do your education? Especially if you want to teach people. I mean,
exactly.
everybody could do this, but where's the qualification?
Yeah, I agree, and I think this should be our goal as a, as association that, I mean, not as association, but in general, because there's so much information, so many experts out there. Like, if you're an expert, just prove it, like just get the certificate. It's not that hard, to take the certificate.
Yeah.
So
If
we
you're an
offer
expert,
also,
it should be
yeah.
quite
Plus we
easy.
offer educational, preparational courses, materials, and everything. So I don't see a reason why should people, be so reluctant or to be, like afraid of taking the exam. I mean, this is how, at least this is my opinion, and I'm very, stick to this.
Mm,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
yeah. So you also do once a year it is conference. So is it just for professionals, or is there also some retail area? Is it about technical analysis or really about trading techniques and where the markets might go tomorrow? So what can people learn at your conferences, at the ZIMT
Okay. So,
conferences?
SIMT is a very new association, and
Mhm.
I have decided that since we are a regional association, I have decided in order to promote the association that each year in different countries from the region, we're gonna organize a conference so we can promote the association.
Mhm.
So when we organize these conferences, we choose our variety of speakers that can bring different approaches, different ideas regarding technical analysis. Some of them are educational, some of them are like sharing their strategies, investing ideas, and we try to combine that. Sometimes I try to invite other speakers as well because when it's too technical, people are have problem to understand it because they don't use too much technical analysis in this region. So if it's something combined, it's more closer to them. So I try to invite other speakers as well, so they can have each participant can have
Mhm.
some benefit from the conferences. And last year we organized a conference in Slovenia, and we
Yeah.
also included workshops so we can so the attendants can have more added value, not just listen to presentation but also to learn something more. And of course I must admit that the biggest benefit of organizing conferences is networking. Yeah.
True. I mean, that's why people go to conferences, honestly speaking, because you already mentioned it, you have a lot of information in the internet. So just to say, I go to a conference for the information is a little bit, short. Of course, you go for the network, and that's what you don't get in the internet, obviously. That's that easy. And
Yeah, and you can always have an opportunity to have in person, meet the speakers and maybe ask them questions that otherwise you will be not able to ask them. And because we try to make them as a family when we
yeah.
gather and we hang together all around during the conference days, go out and we, try to have like beside the formal part, informal part where we can, share ideas, talking, have fun and everything. So yeah, I think
Mhm.
yeah, it's great,
Yeah.
actually. I must admit that it's great. Yeah. And
Yeah,
people,
I totally can agree, and I see the same on the IFTA conferences and all the other ones. I just go or I'm invited as a speaker, or go just as as a guest, as a visitor, and you go for the network. You go for news. You go for. It's true. You can ask some speakers some insights. Would you where you would pay for if you're not on this conference? Usually, because you have to make an appointment, you have to make a call, you get invoice, something like this. But then, hey, I just wanted to ask you this single question. Okay, let's go. So it's easier. It's a lot way
yeah.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can always, I mean, it's networking, sharing ideas, making new friendship that usually after that continue to grow. And our community is growing from each day more and more from conference to conference. And I think it's a great thing to do.
Yeah. So what will be your future perspective? What do you think about financial analysis in the Balkan area and in Eastern Europe in general. Um, how will it develop? Also, retail investment. What do you think? Where will we go?
How do you mean? I'm just want to ask if I'm
All right.
understanding the questions, where the financial markets will go, or
Both financial market in general. So, because right now I'm in Asia,
Mhm.
and depends on which part you are in Asia, people are very keen on investing. If you
Okay.
go to Japan, it is a saying. If it's true, I don't know, but it's a saying that when it comes to retail, housewives, they invest the money they got from the family for the household or whatever, and therefore
Mhm.
they have a lot of retail traders in Japan, like 90 millions, something like this, like really crazy number. So you have
Yeah.
like it's very popular, and the same is true for China, but China is a total different market. So I've been there recently, and it's totally different from everything else I have seen and experienced everywhere else. And if you go to other countries, retail trading is very strong because everybody wants to go into this because everybody wants to make a living and everybody wants to get rich really quick. So the idea now, or the question now is, do you think something is coming up in like this? Like people really want to use trading or financial markets to have a better life and to use this as a job and something like get rich quick? Or do they take things very serious and build wealth slowly but professionally, constantly? What do you think?
Okay, so I think that the Balkan, this area, the Balkan region, is a green field when it comes to investments, since
Mhm.
most of the people are still using most of the money in their bank accounts, but they're slowly awakening up and understanding the importance of investing and start allocating part of their money in some investments. And this will grow eventually more and more in the coming years. So because I wouldn't lie if I say that maybe 80 to 90% of the money of the people's money are still in bank accounts.
Yeah.
So if can you imagine, yeah, and also we have change in generation. So now young people doesn't even think about placing their money in bank accounts. Most of them are like more oriented to crypto assets, but this is
Mhm.
another topic, so I would not discuss about that. Nevertheless, they are just more, like they're reading more on the internet. They're more interested and they're more open to the idea to invest, and they also open some accounts and try to invest and trade and so on. So
Yeah.
I think that this market is about to start developing, and there will be even more and more interest for people who would like to start trading and investing and reallocating part of their money. So now the question is how to do that. So I
Yeah.
think the most important thing is that we should understand that it's not about the strategy. I think the most important thing that people should have to learn is about risk management and how not to lose the money. And that's
Yes.
why I think that now the education will be even more important than ever to
Mhm.
understand their primary goals, whether they want to trade or invest, what are their goals, what are their expectations. They should be realistic ones so they can implement the right strategy and to start from there. But first of
Yeah.
all, I think that they will have to understand how to not lose the money in the markets, whether they're trading
Yeah.
or investing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here comes the education, I think so, because it's not about understanding. I mean, I don't think there is one perfect strategy that you can use and make money, you
Hmm.
know, and it depends from person to person. So I think the biggest enemy to each of us is our emotions,
Hmm.
and this is something that we are trying to to over overcome, but it comes with years and practice, to have a strong mind and to be resistant on the emotions so you can be more effective and to have a profitable trades, I
Hmm.
would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, risk management is a key. I mean, in general, management, people really forget about this. They always go, I want to have the perfect entry, but then they forget everything about management, including managing themselves. Like as a trader, you have a huge responsibility for yourself, and therefore it's not that easy to be successful without taking care of your health, mental health as well, all this one, and also managing a trade, managing your account as such. So yeah, so people isolate their view, and there's no wonder that they're losing money, because if they just focus on the trades, a single trade, well, what is this? Cannot work.
Well, I think that even professionals can make a mistake. I mean, because it's
Of
very
course.
hard. I mean, like the brain is very strong, and I mean, it's hard to, to have this neutral mind and to be objective in anything you do. Okay, so now we have like systematic trading where we can just, avoid some of the emotions, but still, it's a challenging thing to do, even though you have like some systematic system that maybe trades for you, some kind of,
Yeah.
but still, it's not that I have my system and that's it, because you always have to do some updates, and it's not that something that you can do it for once and you can say I'm done. It's always something that you should follow. I mean, things are changing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Sounds great. Yeah, it's very, and it sounds like a very interesting region to go there, as as educator, as well as if you're on the broker side. Let's see if people really just start putting into the business there. So maybe we will have all the expos and fairs you have everywhere else in the world, where people always want to go with business, because it sounds like, yeah, might be the next region where this will happen.
Yeah, but also I must admit it's very challenging, because the mentality here in this region is a bit different. So people doesn't want to get educated. I mean, yeah, it's usually people that, they work for a salary, and, they're like in some comfort zone, always complaining, but not doing anything to change and to move out from this comfort zone, because
Yeah.
usually, I mean, they don't want to learn like second or maybe third language, or have a hobby, business. I mean, it's very different mentality, the Balkan region, and it's very challenging to work in this region, because,
I see.
yeah.
Yeah.
We usually complain and expect somebody else to solve our problems. Instead of, yeah.
That's
I mean,
human.
this is the truth. Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
truth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's human. On the one hand, on the other hand, you already mentioned it. The new generation, the upcoming generations, I'm pretty sure they will have a shift in mindset as well, as there's no other way to prosper and to thrive in this world without, being more open to education, and also to take care of yourself, because that's what the world, I think, will be about the next years for sure. That we have to be more responsible, take over more responsibility for your life. But let's see.
Well, I don't know. I think we should be more conscious in
Yeah.
what we do in everyday life, first of all, and then to start from there and see what do we want actually, because it's
Yeah.
not about getting rich. Even like, I mean, like the question is like, get rich quickly. I want to trade and get rich quickly. So the question is, and then what? Because if you make the money quickly, then probably you will spend them even quicker than making them. So what's the purpose? What's the meaning? Because I mean, even if you make the money, you will eventually spend them, and then what? It's
You have to make money even quicker, right? that's
yeah,
that's the
but
point.
we
Yeah.
should be realistic. I mean, we should be realistic what is achievable, what is not, and like and to see some successful stories from some other people. I mean, not just listen to some experts that can guarantee you some high return strategies and yells, like unless they can show and prove you the results. I don't think that we should just run for these experts.
Agreed.
And yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's always something that people try to take the easy way, and that they don't want to put too much effort in it, but they want to have the big results. That's human. That's what people are about for ages, right? For the very beginning. And let's see if this really changes one day. But on the other hand, there are always people really want to change something. They want to change themselves, and they really put the work into it. So let's see whom we can approach. So it's
Well,
gonna
I
be
think
very,
that
very
everything
exciting.
in life is a balance. So everybody has its own decision responsibility and can make its own choices. So it's up to the people, what will they do? Maybe some of them will make a mistake, but learn from it and move
Mhm.
forward. And maybe we'll say, I don't know, you know, it's everything is in balance, should be in balance in this life, like even the nature and everything. So there
Mhm.
will be always like, you know, different people, different characters, different traders. You
Yeah.
know, some of them will be profitable, some of them will not be, you know, because the trade has two sides, right? Everybody speaks how much you can earn, or like this strategy can give you, let's say 5, 10, doesn't matter the number,
Mhm.
return, but nobody speaks for the other side of the equation, which is how much you can lose.
People forget about this, and
Yeah, I
they
think it's
close
very
their
important.
eyes, yeah, for this
Yeah,
as well.
you always, yeah, people always, when they talk about something and when they want to try to sell something, they always say about only the one side, how much you can earn, but they never mention how much you can lose from this strategy because,
Yeah,
yeah, because the acquisition has these both sides. So it's very important to be mentioned this, how much is the maximum drawdown of this strategy, or, you know,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's important. But then you're already going back, you're coming to the professional side to really get all the knowledge, get all the work done. And you can also do then, if you get all the work done, do the certification because then you're really a pro. Yeah, so
Of course. And
yeah.
also, I have to say something because I don't know when people, because we are, now we have the association, and, people expect, because I have this problem with some of my colleagues, they are mixing the association with trading. And I said, no, we association over education. We give them all the tools, so they can be, give them the education and the tools that in the future they will decide it, what and how they will use it,
Yeah.
and whether they're gonna be profitable traders or investors. It doesn't matter. We cannot mix because everybody wants to know how to trade and make money, but we as association, we don't learn them how to trade. We learn them how to, the basics, the tools and everything they need, so they
Mhm.
can have their own critical thinking, their own mind setup. They can develop their own strategies, how they can implement all the knowledge that we can
Mhm.
give to them, so they can be successful in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's the mission. That's the mission we have, and enabling the people to do this. But yes, then they come with their own responsibility, and it's nobody else to blame but themselves.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, it's not that easy, I must admit. I mean, like, I have been in this industry for more than 15 years, and it's not an easy, and it really, and like any other profession,
Mhm.
it takes time and devotion and everything, because it's a
True.
profession. It's not something that, I don't think that you can do it for a hobby, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, this is my opinion, because even though you might trade 5 minutes per day,
Mhm.
but the rest of the time you should follow the market and see what is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. I mean, everything is trading then. Watching the markets is part of it. Just
Yeah.
clicking the mouse is just like the minimum effort you have to do to get into action. But watching there, doing the analysis is what you do all the time. It's true.
Yeah, you should, because as I told at the beginning, you should understand the market and the reasons behind the price section that you see on the chart of some asset
Mhm.
class.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I think that people usually make mistakes and lose money, because they can. I mean, if it was that simple, everybody was gonna using it, and we were all gonna make money, and not bothering with our financial future. Yeah.
Yeah, true. If everybody would be able to do this, it would not be possible anyway anymore. So, and, nobody would do anything else. We wouldn't have any other jobs, and nobody would do anything for a living, which is necessary for a living, like making food, stuff like this. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good this way, but it's bad this way as well. So it depends what side of the coin you get. And
Well, yeah, but I also,
yeah.
yeah, sorry, but would also say that if somebody wants to devote
Mhm.
and spend some time on learning and practicing, it can be successful. Yeah, it's
Because of this, because can be successful if you put all the commitment and devotion and work in it to be a professional. That's
Yes.
why it's not for everybody, because every job you can really make money with is a job for professionals. So why should it be different with trading, right? So yeah, if you're a doctor, you can be a weekend doctor, but don't know anything and will not be very good. Or you're gonna be a very professional doctor, but then you go through all the education and you're gonna be the super pro and everybody goes to for this, you know. So therefore, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I would like to encourage people. I mean, like, not to be so negative, but to encourage people, like, if they want to devote and become professionals, that we offer certifications, we offer education, different courses that they can join, and just, and we can always be reachable, which is also good, because there will be so many ups and downs during the process. But what we are trying to do to have a community where we can support each other, because so we can continue on this path to become professionals and successful in trading and investing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, I can just encourage everybody from the region, from the Balkan, East Europe region, to join SEMT, Southeast European Technical Analysis Association, and to learn more about trading, learn more about technical analysis, and also to certification. And I will sign it happily if it happens within my presidency, obviously. So,
Yeah. But
so
also, as I said, even if they don't want to become professionals, I think, because I hold lectures for financial education for young people, it's very good if you can understand just the basics, and just when you open the chart to see where the market is, just to recognize, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend, and to have some basic information, where to enter, is it time to enter the market, and how to calculate your stop losses or things like that. I think it's a good for everyone to have this basic knowledge. It's much simple and easier for everyone. You don't need economic background education, so you can understand the chart, because most of the people would like to decide by themselves, if they want to invest and in which stocks to invest. So I think it should be part of the financial education, the basic things regarding technical analysis. Not to make like some complicated calculations about price earnings, things and many other acquisitions that financial analysts have. But, if you can see the chart, it can be much more easier for people, to understand at least where the market is and where is it going.
yeah, well said. Well said. Yeah. So let's take care of this and let's work on it, that everybody really gets the message, and we finally get people away from that YouTube education to proper education by professionals, which is a lot better and also brings you that information you need and not just marketing, which is most of the YouTube education anyway. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too.
For all the insights. I really love to hear about, how the Balkan region is going on. And also it's very exciting to see that things are moving and that there's really some future perspectives also for the industry to grow with as well. So very exciting. And I hope to join you and the colleagues soon. So let's see what happens. So thanks again.
Yeah, it's a big challenge, but yeah, let's see. Yeah. Thank you so much again for inviting me. Yeah, and let's see. We will follow up and catch up with the progress we have made, hopefully.
That's already it. And I really hope that you enjoyed this episode and you took away some learnings for your personal trading. If you want to learn more about me, about my interview partners, if you want to have a one-on-one coaching or even get into a training course with me or my interview partners, just get into the show notes and follow one of all these links you find there. And then I will be happy to hear and see you again. Your Wieland Arlt.